Well, they keep saying they classified, and they. Who is they? And the answer is pretty disturbing, Tucker, because Jim Comey is high-fiving tonight because he said he wasn't indicted, or he wasn't going to be referred for indictment. Why wasn't he, given that damning report by the Inspector General? And the reason he wasn't was, of the 7 memos that he memorialized, these were private phone and person-to-person conversations with the president. He took 4 of them home and he used them as an insurance policy in case something would happen. When he was fired, he used them. And then he said that they were confidential and not classified. Who made that determination? Well, after it all blew up to the press, the FBI panicked and they said, you know, these hadn't been classified or categorized as anything. Let's go back and look at them. And who were they? Who were the 4 people that looked at them? There were Mr. Priestep, and he, we know, had gone to London 3 times involved with Christopher Steele and British intelligence. There was James Baker, who we know was leaking to Mother Jones and David Corn to get out the Steele dossier to the press before the election. And in an Orwellian sense, there were Lisa Page and Peter Strzok, no comment needed. So those 4 people, after the whole thing blew up, they got together and said, let's categorize these. Oh, the ones that Comey took home, we've determined are confidential and not felonious. And the ones he left behind, we will say are classified, but he's not subject to criminal exposure because he didn't take those 3 home. How hard would it have been to get 3 or 4 FBI agents that were not involved in spreading and seeding the Steele dossier and were not confidants of Jim Comey? And it's exactly the type of behavior that's getting people very, very disillusioned. And because we've already seen with the Clinton email scandal that Comey acted unethically and unprofessionally, but not criminally. Here we have the same devastating acknowledgement, but his own friends ensured that he wasn't subject to criminal liability post facto. These were not even categorized at all until the press got a hold of it, and they went back and had his friends say, you know what, he did something unprofessional, but it was not guilty of a felony. And that's pretty reprehensible.
Just quickly sum up, what do you say about a man who, in the face of the evidence you just presented, everything you said bolstered by today's IG report, a man who becomes even more self-righteous when confronted with what he's done? Who is that man? Who would do that?
Well, he's counting on the idea that he thinks that because Donald Trump is an outsider and has no political or military experience, and he can be blunt and crude sometimes, that he's smarmy and he's has charismatic abilities, and he's going to talk about Nietzsche and philosophy and Zen, and therefore he's his moral superior. And once he establishes that fact, any means necessary to take down the outsider, the dangerous Trump, are justified. And that's what's really scary about the whole thing. We have a small group of unelected conspirators who feel that it's their moral prerogative to destroy an elected president because they are just morally superior and they have insight that the rest of us don't have.
So
Any one of us would be in jail.
All the kids who can pronounce Nietzsche correctly think they should be in charge. That's quite a standard. I love that. Professor, thank you, as always.
Thank you.